was $2,157,812, which is an increase of $809,957 from the previous month. The average for the first 8 months of East Blast 5 collections was $1,361,000. The title ad valorem tax collection for July was $534,746, and expenditures are within budget at 24.12% expended, with 25% of the year complete. Madam Chair, that is the financial report.
Okay, any questions on the financial report? Okay, strategic plan report.
Good evening. I will present just a few items from the strategic plan report from each of the goal areas. Student achievement and success. The NCSS Special Education Department has joined forces with the Georgia Department of Education's Tools for Life and Text Help in an assistive technology partnership. This partnership provides read and write, equate IQ, and write Q at no cost to the district to help NCSS students who need assistive technology for reading, writing, and math. High quality workforce. Title I paid staff trainings were held throughout the month of September 2020. The trainings served as support to the teachers and paraprofessionals who interact with students in a Title I school-wide program in order to help the students achieve high academic state standards. Title I provided services are supplemental to what the district is providing for every student and school. Under culture, climate, and communication, we had a birthday. The Flint Hill Elementary School community celebrated their 10th anniversary on Tuesday, September 15, 2020. The event included faculty, staff, and community. The event culminated in planting a tree to commemorate the anniversary. The Oak Hill community is celebrating their 20th anniversary this fall. And finally, under organizational and operational effectiveness, in September, school nutrition program personnel promoted the USDA Seamless Summer Waiver that allows free meals to all children through December 2020. Combined with the concerted efforts of the Pupil Transportation Department and other operations division personnel, this promotion has resulted in the highest participation rate and the largest number of meals served since the mandated school closures began. And that are just a few items from the strategic plan report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roundtree. Are there any questions? Okay, enrollment report.
As of October 14th, our enrollment was 18,780 students, which is a decrease of 648 students from this time last year.
Okay.
And that's the enrollment report.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the enrollment report? Okay, we have a presentation.
Okay, I'm waiting on.
Okay.
Good
Miss-
evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am here to present the 2019-2020 results for the 21st Century Program.
Okay, and Ms. Sams, before you start, in case somebody is watching, so we have Ms. Sams, who is over our 21st Century Program, which is the after-school program for you guys. Okay.
As the presentation comes up, 21st Century is a federally funded program that is administered through our State Department. It's a competitive grant process and that we participated in, and we were successfully awarded 4 21st Century grants. So I'm here to give you the reports, the results of our 21st Century program for last year. As you know, we are in alignment with the district strategic plan, so just a reminder of that. And this is who we serve. Our target group includes students who did not meet standards on the state standardized test, students who are in need of remediation and credit recovery, students who were retained due to academics or attendance, students who have at-risk factors such as truancy, disruptive behavior, and then, of course, families in need of additional education and support to build parental involvement. So as I mentioned before, we have 4 grants. They are all ASAP grants. They're ASAP 2, 3, 5, and 6. And so in each of those grants, we have schools clustered together. So in ASAP 2, we have West Newton, Indian Creek, and Washington Street. And these are the demographics that we serve, the students that we serve this year. Our target number in each of these grants is 150, and then our results are based on those students who have attended 30 or more days. We refer to them as regular attendees. So in ASAP 2, you have, we registered 244 students, and then we had 164 regular attendees. And then below that, you'll see the breakdown of the demographics. In ASAP 3, we registered 100, and I can't see that far, so let me get back to my notes. We registered 184, and 172 of those were regular attendees. In ASAP 5, we had 292 students registered, with 204 of them being regular attendees. And then ASAP 6, there were 248 students and 161 regular attendees. So these are our program activities. We work to improve academic performance, and by doing that, we offer remediation, tutoring, and credit recovery, as well as homework assistance. The next item that we work on is developing in students a sense of responsibility, appropriate behavior, and work habits. So we offer character education and prevention education type activities, leadership, empowerment activities through in that area. We also offer opportunities for them to participate in a variety of enrichment activities by way of field trips and a slew of enrichment classes that we offer to our students based on some of their interests. And then finally, we offer education sessions for our parents as well as volunteer opportunities. So here are our results. We have 4 broad goals. Our first goal is an academic goal, so we're looking at improving the performance in the areas of reading, ELA, mathematics, and science. And under each goal, we have measurable objectives. So the results that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight are the results for each objective that's in the grant. The first objective is a testing objective. So as you can see, we did not measure that because our students didn't test last year. So we have our next area would be looking at grades. Objective 1.2, we're looking at our students' grades in the areas of math, reading and ELA. And as you can see, for each one of our grants, we met that objective. And then 1.3 is also a testing objective that was not measured last year. 1.4 is the objective for science. And in each one of our grants, we met that objective.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, math.
That's okay.
Thank you, I can't see that far. I should have brought my glasses. So it's math, and we did meet the objective in each one of those, for each of our grants in math. And then science is 1.5, and that was a testing objective that was not measured last year. 1.6 is we're looking at classroom grades in the area of science. And for each of our grants, we met the objective. And you can see there the percentages by which we met the objective. And then finally, 1.7 is looking at our credit recovery. So we have 2 schools that have high schools in them, and both high schools, Eastside and Alcovy, met their objectives. Next area is to develop responsibility, appropriate behavior, and work habits that contribute to academic success. And in this particular goal, we're looking at students' performance, how it translates back to the classroom. And so the day teachers actually provide us feedback here. And our first measurement is looking at homework completion, as well as if it is acceptable to their day teacher. So in each one of our objectives here, you'll see that we met for homework completion and for homework being at an acceptable level for the day teacher. Our second objective is looking at the students who are showing improvement in class as far as their participation. So we want to see them doing more in class and being more engaged in class. And so as you can see here, our teachers also stated that our students are more engaged in participating in class. 2.3 is looking at their behavior. So we want to see an improvement in their behavior as well. And so we also saw an improvement there based on the feedback from the teachers. Our next goal is looking at the enrichment. So all of the activities that I guess the students describe as fun activities, this is where we measure those, and the students actually give us feedback. We were kind of surprised that we had an objective that we didn't meet in this area, because we really tried to be responsive to our students and get feedback from them and offer things that are of interest to them. So we're looking at providing opportunities for them to participate in a variety of enrichment activities, and that is including field trips. So here we're looking at their, we want 85% of them to tell us that they have an increased interest in these three areas, and we're looking at the arts, we're looking at recreation and fitness, and then we're looking at careers. So we offer activities that are basically within those three areas. And ASAP 3 is the only grant, that's the only objective that we did not meet. All the others we did meet. And the students, again, provide us feedback on this, on these two objectives. 3.2 is looking at our field trips. Now, our field trips were impacted a lot by COVID, of course. Once COVID hit, a lot of our field trips, which we planned, a lot of them toward the end of the school year, we ended up having to cancel those. So a lot of our students didn't get a chance to go on a field trip. Well, not on a physical field trip, they went on virtual field trips. So we did have an opportunity to offer them field trip activities virtually. And so our students did, those that participated did enjoy those activities, and we met the objective there as well. The fourth and final goal that we have is to serve parents. So we want to provide family support services to improve community literacy and assist them in supporting their children. So we survey parents here to see how they feel about, to give us feedback about the classes that we offer and the different workshops and sessions that we offer for them. So we want them attending. So that is the first objective we look at. We want them to attend at least 2. And our goal is always to offer at least 5 opportunities for them to attend. We also partner with Title I there, so we want to make sure that we're promoting our Title I department as well. So if they attend Title I meetings, they can also get credit there as well. And so in each of those grants for that particular objective, we met. And then the next one is our 4.3, where we're looking at the parents telling us if the things that we offer, the sessions that we offer, if they were beneficial to them. And so we did have our parents who seemed to be pretty pleased about the sessions that were offered. We did offer several of them virtually and had a pretty good response from our parents there. So we were really excited about that. Finally, we have our evaluators' recommendations. This year we had 2 different evaluators. Dr. Mike Metzler has been our evaluator for the last several years. So this year, we decided to try a new company, and so we secured the services of Kennesaw University, and so they also had the responsibility of providing evaluation services. So some of these recommendations are a combination of the two evaluators that evaluated our grants. So our first recommendation was to develop a plan for future virtual instruction. As you know, COVID came and it just took everybody by surprise, and we were actually able to, within 2 weeks, get our virtual programs going. And so we had no manual, nobody told us how to do it, we just had to get in there and figure it out. So that was one of their recommendations, is to just plan for that in the future. If that were to occur, we had something like that to occur that we have to shut down. Ensure activities are tied to grade level standards, which is always a goal of ours, making sure we're in alignment with our curriculum map. Ensure program schedules are updated regularly. Use a wrap-up activity to ensure what students have or use a wrap-up activity to review what students have learned. And then improve our survey completion rate. Survey completion rate, we did those surveys at the end of the year. We do pre and post. And of course, with us being shut down, it was hard to get those surveys back from parents. So our survey rate was lower than it has been in the past. And then ensure all students can use all staff can use the virtual platform appropriately. And we've already addressed that. We offered those sessions to our staff before we started our virtual programs. Again, our evaluator for the year, Dr. Mike Metzler, who was a retired professor at Georgia State University, and then Kennesaw State, their evaluation department. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, what was the feedback, like, you said that the students they give feedback in, item 3.1, which was like where they didn't meet on the arts and careers. It was Eastside, Fairview, and Flint Hill. What was some of the feedback, do you know?
As far as why they didn't, for that one, those 3 sites didn't do very many field trips. They waited till the end of the year to do their field trips.
Okay.
And they had like several planned, and so I think that factored into the students basically saying they didn't have those opportunities.
Okay. And then the other question I had was 4.2, which was the percentage of parents that have to go to the parent meetings. So like, it was Herb Mitson, they had like 52%, which was low compared to the other 3 schools. Because I think the next school was at 72%.
Right.
But the ironic thing is that the next item, which was 4.3, which was the parent feedback as was the program beneficial or not, they had like a 87, the parents gave 87%.
Right. So of the parents that responded, they responded favorably.
Okay.
So that was, I think, why you see a higher number there.
Okay.
But for Herd Mixon and veterans, the really and truly veterans pulled us over in that objective because the other 2 schools did not meet the objective. And so we had some challenges there with enrollment, and so I've gotten 2 new coordinators at Cousins, so we've made some changes to try to improve in those areas for both of those schools.
And I know that has to be in the evaluation and as part of the grant. So with that, are they communicating to the parents when they have the meeting so that the
Yes.
parents are putting it on their calendar and are they telling them the importance of coming to the meeting, that
They
this is
are.
part of the grant?
Yeah.
Okay.
All parents are required to do orientation, and that's one of the things that we cover in orientation, what their requirement is.
Okay.
And then, just what our offerings, because they have a parent calendar, and they share that at the beginning of the year. So
Okay.
they get that up front.
Okay.
And then we also do call messengers and flyers, and we advertise it lots of different ways.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Anybody else have questions?
Just a couple of quick questions. The target was 150 per, all right. and I saw even just the average attendee was above the 150. Where does the 150 number, what does it represent as far as a target? Is that budgeted dollars?
It is.
Okay, so where does the expense difference come from? Does that make sense? If we budget for 150, but 175 are regularly attending, where does that get paid
So
for?
we build in a cushion for staff in the way that we staff. Our staff members can't work every day, so we budget for a full position. But it may, if students leave early and teachers leave early, so we have a lot of cushion in there built into the budget to cover for the extra students. And then we also have carryover money. So if we have carryover monies, we then add more students.
Okay, so it's all within the grant? Nothing
Yes,
comes- Okay.
it's all within the budget
All right.
of the grant.
The survey completion rate, you said it wasn't as good this year, and obviously there's lots of reasons for why, but just what was the completion rate?
It varies for, most of the grants, it was low, like below 50% for most of them. Some of them, it was like horrible, just because, just trying to get those parents to get those, for our elementary programs, typically we don't have a problem because we see parents, they have to pick up their babies every day. But for middle and high, we've had, some challenges with that. But this year, we had a lot of challenges, even getting the elementary parents to return their surveys,
Okay.
as well as our attendance. It's been a struggle to really keep our numbers up with virtual because our school day is so long, and then we ask them to come to after school for 2 more hours in
Right.
front of a screen. So we do all we can to try to present it as a fun
Right.
program, not, more just sitting and listening. It's more engaging for them.
Okay. And then just the last question I had was about the actual measurable goals. So some were 50%, some were 85%. Like, where do those, are those subjective numbers you guys come up with, or is that a best practices, or?
Yeah, those were numbers we look at. When the grants were initially written, we looked at our data to see what we would need to do to be in comparison to what other state programs have as their objectives, and then looking at our data to determine what barriers we have, what things we could put in place and to move those numbers. And so each year we look at those objectives. Typically, we move them up.
Okay.
It's just that we've had, some barriers and some changes going on with the program that we haven't moved them in the last couple of years. But usually when we get like in the 3rd year of the grant and we get more settled, we raise our objectives.
Okay.
And so as you can see, we look at our final numbers to determine where we're going to raise them. And usually the team talks about it and decides, on what would be a good, solid place to add our objectives, to leave our objectives.
Great. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, having none, thank you, Ms. Sams.
You're welcome.
Great work.
Thank you.
Right, may I have a motion to approve the superintendent's reports?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, 5-0. Okay, we have no old business, moving on to new business.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. In item A, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contract awarded to McPherson Companies of Atlanta, Georgia for the utilization of a fuel card system for the Transportation Department be awarded for additional term. The effective date of the renewal will be October 25, 2020, with an expiration date of October 24, 2021. The estimated contract value is $790,000. Fuel cards allow our drivers to refuel at the service center and/or designated pre-approved sites located along the driver's route within their zone. Those buses for which it is most effective to fuel off-site are identified and designated to do so. The others continue to fuel at the service center. The school system will utilize a contract managed by Omnia Partners, a national purchasing cooperative, to access the fuel program. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4. The purchase documentation is there for your review, and the funding source is the FY approved 2021 general fund budget. And that is item A.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Barr. May I have a motion to move item A forward, please?
So moved.
Okay, been moved by Mrs. Coggan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bailey, Trey Bailey. Are there any questions, concerns about the fuel cards? Okay, having none, all in favor? Okay, 5-0, thank you. Item B.
And item B, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contract for print management services awarded to Rico USA of Malvern, Pennsylvania, be renewed for another contract term. The effective date will be October 30, 2020, with an expiration date of October 29, 2021. The estimated cost for this program is $230,000. As background, over the last year, the school system's copy center located at the College and Career Academy has averaged 657,253 copies per month at a lower cost possible than at schools or other facilities, while maintaining its goal of a 3-day turnaround time. Since the program was initiated, the school system has realized an aggregate savings of approximately $57,000 from right-sizing the fleet. That involves a reduction of machines and lease payments and copy costs at schools and facilities. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success, and Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational and Operational Effectiveness. Purchase documentation is there for your review, as are the funding sources. And that is item B, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion for item B?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Coggan. I need a second. Second by Anderson Bailey. The floor is open for questions. Having none, all in favor? Okay, 5-0. Item C.
And item C, the superintendent recommends the identified items be declared surplus and disposed of per board policy. And the items are there for your review, and that deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational, Operational Effectiveness. And that is item C for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to move the surplus items forward, item C.
So moved.
Been moved by Trey Bailey. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion or questions? Having none, all in favor? Okay, 5-0. Thank you. Item D.
And item D, the superintendent recommends the purchase of ClassWorks from Curriculum Advantage Incorporated. The total cost is $32,905. As background, ClassWorks is an online tiered intervention solution that combines assessment, instruction, progress monitoring, and powerful reporting into one easy-to-use platform. The program offers a comprehensive intervention solution that includes K-8 math, reading, and language arts instruction, and uses students' performance results to deliver individualized learning paths matched to their specific needs. For our students with disabilities, ClassWorks is endorsed by the Council of Administrators of Special Education to support the needs of both special educators and exceptional students. The program will be used at Herd Mixon Elementary School, Porterdale Elementary School, South Salem Elementary School, Clements Middle School, and Indian Creek Middle School. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Purchase and documentation is included, as is the funding source. And that is item D, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion for item D, please.
So moved.
Okay, I'll take Ms. Coggan for the first and Mr. Johnson for second. Floor is open for discussion. Any questions or concerns?
Just, does this replace a current program, or?
No, it's actually a continuation. We implemented it at these 5 schools last year, but it was a reduced cost because they wanted us to try it. And so it did not meet the threshold where we needed to bring it to you all. But each of the schools, these particular schools asked, for this, and they're going to be using it with a specific groups of children.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Having none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 5-0, thank you. Item E.
In item E, the superintendent recommends the professional development services needed for the school system be purchased from North Star Education Partners of Decatur, Georgia. The total cost is $136,277. North Star Education Partners is an organization that focuses on helping school systems actualize their vision of educational excellence. They utilize collaboration and systems-level thinking to drive meaningful, lasting change and deliver greater outcomes for students. The specific goal for the school system is to help our teachers deliver excellent virtual instruction. This process was begun in the summer via a series of sessions that help teachers and leaders develop a shared vision of quality virtual learning. North Star also provides a framework to both continuously improve district virtual learning practices and deliver and monitor the impact thereof. They will provide in-depth professional development, coaching, and resources to teachers, instructional coaches, and principals. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Contract is provided for your review, and the funding source is FY 2021 Title IIA funds. That is item E, Madam Chair.
Okay, may I have a motion to move E forward, please?
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Coggan. Is there a second? Second by Anderson Bailey. Floor is open for questions or concerns. I have a question. So with this partnership, or with this contract, North Star, how often are they doing professional development, or do the teachers have access to it all the time? Because I see that it says resources and something else I saw in here. So how often are they coaching and resources to teachers? So the resources have me believing that they could go to it and access materials or information at any time, but then the professional development piece, that seems like that would be a class or a series or a session.
Okay, so there's a combination.
Okay.
So in the summertime, teachers had, first of all, good evening. During the summertime, teachers as well as school leaders, district staff had an opportunity to be introduced to the instructional framework for virtual learning. During that time, we had a team here that worked with that partnered with, that partnered with North Star, and we created the instructional framework together. That information was redelivered to the teachers, and the teachers have access to those Fast Fives. Right now, we're seeking your approval, and upon your approval, we'll provide support to instructional coaches who will also provide the support to the teachers, as well as we'll train our district staff and leaders through those 28 days. And then there's also time where they work with Dr. Mosley and myself. We'll work with them. We meet with Bridget, one of the consultants. It's weekly on Wednesdays. And so they have access to the materials, but then also access to all of us who will be trained to offer support.
Okay. So then I have another question,
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am.
Warfield. So anything that they do, like let's say they do a session or a series, and I'm reading through the contract just as I ask the question because it might be in there.
Okay.
But let's say they do some kind of professional development. That's a session, a workshop or something. Is it recorded where the teachers have the opportunity to go back and look at it, or?
Yes,
Okay.
professional learning sessions are recorded for teachers to go back, just like the sessions that we had this summer. We recorded those sessions and they have access to those.
Okay.
If they would like to have access to them.
Okay. Okay, that's my question. Those are my questions. Thank you. Anybody else have questions or concerns?
I just wanted to get clarification.
Okay, I'll do Mr. Bailey first and then Mr. Johnson.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
Trey Bailey. Y'all, Anderson and Trey. Trey Bailey first and then Mr. Johnson.
So you just mentioned 28 days or something. So they're going to be on site? Are they?
No, they provide us support virtually at this time.
Okay, so they give you 28 days of virtual support.
They provide virtual support as well as they work with us, regardless, yes, it's virtual.
Okay. Well, so I was reading it, and the contract, the description, it's just really vague. So I'm just curious to know what are we paying $136,000 for? What are we getting? Are they encouraging you guys, like, hey, you can do it? Or is there like actual training? Could you give me an example maybe? even
Yes,
of what it-
okay, most certainly.
Okay.
So like I said, the instructional framework, virtual learning is new for us, but it's not new for people all across the nation. And so what we needed was some guidance and some individuals that had noted success with assisting districts with virtual learning. And so that's why we built the instructional framework, because if we have an instructional framework, but it's for in-person learning. Virtual learning is new for all of us, from district level teachers, everyone. And so we worked with them, partnered with them, and they helped guide us and keep us on track to build something that fits Newton County. It's customized for Newton County. So you can't find what we're doing anywhere else. Now, research-based instructional strategies, of course, you definitely can. However, when you're speaking the language of Newton County, it's laced in our instructional framework.
Okay. so follow up. So North Star, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So they're really just talking with you two guys primarily?
They talk to us primarily, however, we have a district team that works with them because we do not hoard all the knowledge for what's
That's what I was
going
trying, I
on.
was trying to, if you guys have to now, redeliver all that information.
No, we have support with the redelivery of information.
Okay.
So North Star, what they do is they came in and they worked with our district team, which was inclusive of, we had district leaders, we had some individuals on the team that were instructional coaches, instructional specialists, RTI coordinator, ESOL coordinator. We all worked together to develop the instructional framework. Then we brought it to our district leaders. And during our, what was it, July training, the leadership conference, they worked with our district leaders. Positive feedback each time we did a survey because we wanted to ensure, are we really hitting the nail on the head with what our teachers actually need? And are we responding to the data? And so we found that that was successful. Everybody had positive feedback as it relates to that. And then let me make sure I answer your question. Give me the next part. 'Cause
Just who all's getting this information? You said, so
Okay.
they helped you at the July session with the leadership conference. Do teachers are they engaged in this at all, or is this all redirected by?
Most certainly, every teacher in Newton County actually has sat with the North Star partners when we piloted it. I would say like a pilot because we needed to ensure that this is something that meets our specific needs in Newton County. So when we had the teacher pre-planning, that's when they met with every teacher. We had an elementary session as well as middle, high school session. They spoke to them about the instructional framework, modeled it, had an opportunity for them to practice it. And then, of course, we had to pause with continuing until we have approval to move forward
Okay.
with continuing that
All
support.
right, that was gonna be my last question, because it sounded like all this had already been done. So all this, what we're approving tonight is for everything moving forward
Moving
to
forward.
continue what we've already started.
Exactly.
Yes,
Okay.
because they have their Fast Five, so now we need to break it down and go through the instructional framework. And these instructional practices that we have within this, it offers support in the in-person environment as well as the virtual environment. So it serves a dual role.
Okay.
And we actually held the signing of the contract, and the moving forward of all of that until now because they were trying to get the feedback and those things. So we've been in talks with them since the summer, but, she's exactly right. We did not move forward with the rest of the purchase until, we knew that this was something that we wanted and that would be beneficial.
Got you. So your team's going, we want more of this.
I'm sorry?
Your team is asking for more of this, is what you're saying?
If you look at the survey results, we all are asking
Okay.
for this.
And we all need it.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Mr. Johnson?
Yes, the virtual component to this, would this be charged to kids, expense-wise?
No, the funding that we will be using for this,
Yeah,
the funding is from Title II-A funds. And so those funds are earmarked for professional learning support so we can increase the quality and effectiveness of our teachers, leaders, principals, other school leaders.
maybe I misunderstood you, that they were doing the observation of the program virtually. And I'm saying that part of the program, that expense, $130,000, portion of it could be assigned to CARES, because if we didn't have the virus issue, we probably wouldn't be on this subject.
And so you're saying, could some of the funds be assigned to students?
No, the CARES fund.
Oh, the
Well,
CARES fund, oh,
Well,
okay.
we have the Title II-A grant, which is earmarked, as she said, for professional learning. And while we perhaps could, it's better served under the Title II, which is a federal grant, because those funds are designated by the federal government for the professional development of the educator stakeholders. So, and we have, the funds, a lot of them there, for that purpose. So typically, any kind of professional learning, we will use either our state professional learning grant funds or her federal funds to meet those needs.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions, concerns? Okay, thank you. I'll call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, 5-0. Thank you. Item F.
In item F, the superintendent recommends the approval of the purchase of internet connectivity needed for the school system from Khajiit of Bethesda, Maryland. The total cost is $363,187.41. School system has purchased a total of 1,500 Khajiit hotspots at the intervals as required. Based on updated needs assessments, The current purchase extends the coverage on devices through June 30th, 2021. Parents assume responsibility for the equipment. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. The documentation for the purchase is there for your review, and this is CARES funds as outlined in the memo. And that is item F.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to move F forward?
So moved.
Okay, been moved by Mr. Johnson. I need a second. Second by Anderson Bailey. The floor is now open for discussion, questions, or concerns.
So this is just an extension of what we already have.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So no new devices are included here.
No, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns? Having none, I'll call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 5-0. Thank you. Item G.
In item G, the superintendent recommends the approval of the purchase of SIM cards needed by the school system from T-Mobile USA of Bellevue, Washington. The total cost is $76,810.80. The school system will disperse the SIM card supported by T-Mobile to select students who have such devices that need that support. The school system will utilize a contract managed by the state of Georgia through the Georgia Technology Authority to purchase the devices. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Purchase documentation is there for your review, and the funding source for this is also CARES Act funds. And that is item G, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Barr. May I have a motion for G, please?
So moved.
Okay, I'll take Coggan for the first and Mr. Johnson for the second. The floor is now open for discussion.
Is this our first purchase from T-Mobile? I can't remember if we've purchased these before. Because I know we did the Khajiit.
This is the first time we've had an item that need to go to the board for these, similar to Khajiit. This would be extending for the entire school year. So this is different from Khajiit. This would be a month-to-month type for the T-Mobile devices. So these could be disabled as soon as these students return with the T-Mobile enabled Chromebooks.
So this card goes in a,
It's just a regular SIM card. It's just like your cell phone.
Right.
But with these devices, they do not require a separate hotspot for those. So it's just one thing that's enabled so the students get directly onto the internet.
okay. And those devices are in kids' hands now?
Yeah, we currently have those.
So how are they accessing the internet now?
They're currently using the T-Mobile SIM cards for those.
Okay. I'm getting in the weeds. I'm trying to think, how are you going to get those tiny little cards into those computers? Are they going to bring their computers back? Or are we going to get a little card to take home?
Yeah, they're already in there. This would just be, once again, since we are going to the part where we extend to over $25,000 threshold to become a board item, that's where we are at this point.
Okay, so there's no real new cards coming in, we're just approving
cost.
something we already have.
Yep.
Now, that's a language I can understand. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, having none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 5-0. Item H.
In item H, the superintendent recommends the approval of personnel matters as discussed in executive session.
Okay.
That is item H.
May I have a motion for H, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Johnson, second by Mrs. Coggan. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5-0. Other matters of interest? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Just before we have update on East Side High School replacement, I got the pictures. Could we have the financials to go along to see where we are?
Yes, certainly. Yes, sir.
Or could we get them, I don't know when, but at least present them at the next meeting?
Okay, yes, sir.
And along with that, and the last time, I don't know if it was the last time or not, but you presented some financials that had a statement in there that had a $3 million bill for administrative costs. Could you at that time explain what that was all about?
Okay, all right. I'll take a look at it.
I'm sorry?
I'll take a look at it. I don't recall right now.
Okay, thank you. Any other matters of interest? I have two. I just want to, as October, and I've noticed schools doing their wear pink, or sports team doing their wear pink, I want to salute, or we want to salute all of our breast cancer survivors that work for our school system, since it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So kudos to you guys, and thank you for all that you do, and good health continued to you as a survivor. And then I want to shout out our mechanics. I definitely got to shout out our mechanics. So I sat down with the mechanics today that work for our school system, and I learned a whole bunch about just the bus barn, the mechanics involved and stuff like that. And I want to give them a shout out, because a lot of times we do congratulate or give kudos or say thank you to so many of our employees, and not intentionally. I think I know I have. When I say bus drivers, I've included them in it, but they're not bus drivers. So I want to individually say thank you to the amazing men for the work that they do with making sure that our 200 or a little over 200 fleet of buses continue to roll on the roads and remain safe. So definitely want to say that to them. Okay, any other matters of interest?
Well, I just want to say, I echo everything you said, but I'm just so sorry it's coming so long, took so long to get here.
We're going to get there, Mr. Johnson.
I know it will.
Okay. Any other matters of interest? Okay, having none, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 7:59 PM.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.